Good morning, our merry Marvelites, and good afternoon, depending on where you may be. It is time for more Marvel movie talk. As always, I am your host, Christian Blatt. With us, the one and only, the traveler throughout the Midwest, the one and only Jeff Williams.
How's it going? How's it going?
Down there, the man who is referred to as the Watcher, but not in the way that is complimentary. It's in a number of lawsuits, but I don't think we can even talk about that. The one, the only Eric Zola.
Guten
Great
Tag.
great to see you, and of course, Michael Shirley. What would a Wednesday be without you in it? I tell you, a lot less fun.
I don't know. I liked my outfit better with these glasses. This darn ring light.
But that ring light was making you very.
God. Yeah.
So we are here to talk about What If Episode 8. And let's see. Daniel Drew. Woo! Well, that was one of the most calming episodes so far, wasn't it? One vertical slash and poof, the universe went to hell, LOL. Excited for the finale and Gamora wanting revenge, maybe. I guess we'll have to see. And of course, ever the gentleman, Craig Robinson, even. So yeah, let's tackle What If Episode 8. Eric, let's start with you, mostly because I feel like we don't start with you nearly often enough. So let's try to fix that this time around.
It's my time in the sun.
It is.
It's funny. Right before we began, not to spoiler alert, Michael Shirley said, "I don't have much to say," and I'll tell you, for a lot of this, I found myself doing other things. Like this one didn't grab me. I mean, because it was like it was almost like dominoes didn't fall. It's almost like they knocked over one domino, and then I like sneezed twice, and all of a sudden, like a billion dominoes were knocked over. Which I get is the point of this thing, but I found myself weirdly detached from it for a lot of it. Although I did really appreciate. I know Jeremy Renner doesn't get much love in this virtual room for some reason, but I really enjoyed what Jeremy Renner was doing in this episode. I found his acting was great. I love Lake Bell, by the way, as Black Widow. I don't know if they have any intention of ever using her. Would you say, Christian?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, we might as well get used to somebody not being Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, so might as well be Lake Bell. What I was going to say about Jeremy Renner is the same thing I say every time he comes up. It's the only Bourne movie that matters, is the one that he was in. So in general, I like him. I always feel like Hawkeye really hasn't gotten enough to do in really any of the movies he's been in. So that's one of the reasons to look forward to his show. But yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the key actual voice actors in this one. Yeah. Let's see. Craig Robinson, a very good episode. I was excited to see the Watcher in battle mode.
I was going to circle back to that. The end of that, however, those last few minutes and that battle where it started off, I'm like, oh, they're going through different gals. It's like, no, they went so far with that conceit that I tell you, it won me over, and it got me incredibly excited for the next episode. So, took a while. But then the end, I was happy. The Michael Shirley
Michael, you said you don't have much to say, so say both of your words.
Over it.
I'm sorry.
I can't wait for the finale either. I think this show's kind of wearing out its welcome with me.
This was one of the few episodes that did Tom Hiddleston on it. You should have liked that about it.
I mean, it was just kind of boring. I found myself like going back to page 6 and just like reading all the gossip. Like it was just kind of, I was with Eric on that. I was like finding myself doing other things. I didn't really like the whole Watcher thing. I'm still kind of confused. Like, is this a continuation from last week's episode with the Ultron? Like, was that a teaser? Like, what is all this? Like, is this a 2-part? Like, is this a 3-part? Are we going to see next week what's happening? I mean, I feel like we have to since the Watcher's involved. Like, I don't know. It's getting messy.
Well, yeah, I think that the way that it ends, it implies that the last two episodes of the season will definitely continue this story, and they finally did something right in terms of the guest cast. They put also starring Benedict Cumberbatch at the end instead of
I
in the
saw
beginning.
that.
Yeah, so they listened to me from a few weeks ago. Clearly,
Yeah, they watched.
that's all on me. By the way, Daniel Drew, a little bit more favorable. It was nice to have a Nat and Clint adventure, even if it was only a what if. The exciting adventure where they look through files. I do appreciate in general. Jeff, before we start breaking down individual things about the episode, tell us some of the stuff that stood out for you, good, bad, or indifferent, which is the bread and butter of this show.
It's supposed to go good, bad, or ugly.
No.
Well,
that's what everybody calls this show: good, bad, and ugly.
It definitely wasn't ugly for me, but I was on the fence. So I watched it last night / this morning. I was kind of iffy about it. I kind of fell asleep, and then I rewatched it, and then I rewatched it right before this, and then I was like, okay, I don't know why I fell asleep. Maybe I was tired because it was visually stunning. Like there were so many great scenes. Like, okay, Michael, act like when you're going through different dimensions and you're seeing all those different ones visually, and they're so graphic, and they like Eric says, they stuck to the concept so well throughout the whole thing. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm actually entertained. It was one of the ones where I'm like, okay, we're getting to something. All the other what ifs were kind of just one-offs. I didn't like it as much. I actually was entertained by this. And just it's a different what if. Oh, never mind.
Oh, boo.
The show is back.
I know Michael was excited for a second.
The Black Cast is back. But what if
it made me fall asleep as I think the ringing endorsement that they're looking for.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it was also 1 a.m. and I also came from, like, I've been traveling a lot. That doesn't mean a lot.
Well, I watched it today. He came from the club. He just come from the club. He's tired.
You can't be saying everything. Don't be telling everything. No, but I really enjoyed it today. So I'm excited for next week.
Yeah. I do want to see where it goes for sure. In all honesty, I think that when it changed and Ultron became started being interesting. I'm like, oh, they're gonna go reboot Zola and try and outsmart a much newer computer that's more sophisticated.
Wait, should we fill in what we think Christian's saying?
Yeah, like a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Is he back? No, he's not back.
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, here we go.
He left.
No, not another Christian.
Yes.
I hate that one. The other one.
What if Christian? This is what's going to be next episode.
To be fair, I don't like Christians. Either. I don't like.
All right, we need to keep this
episode of the Bladcast to date.
Yeah, we need to keep this episode chugging along.
Michael, what made you happy?
Yeah, what actually did you enjoy?
They did Jeremy Renner some real favors in that artistic rendition, and I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part because I do like Hawkeye.
I like that they had like a twist nod to how Black Widow died, then how Hawkeye dies in this episode, and it just makes me excited for his new series because like we're gonna get to see a lot of him in action, way more than we've seen in any of the films.
Well, did anyone notice how like she wasn't very upset when he died?
She's like, I mean,
no. Okay,
she's lived her whole life trying to, not have any emotion at all. So
yeah,
it's very consistent. But yes, I did actually think about that.
She just like shoots this like who farted look, like over? It's just
Well,
like
the answer is obviously Clint, because I think when you die by being
Gas,
consumed by a
right.
bunch of robots, you
Yeah.
do pass gas. I'm pretty sure that there are studies to that effect.
stinky.
So what I was trying to say earlier, or one of me was trying to say, I don't know which one it was, but what I'm trying to say is that the first part of the episode, where it seemed like a straightforward story, where let's reboot the Zola AI and try and have that outsmart Ultron. I was just like, okay, this is not a particularly interesting story. So it only became interesting when Ultron became aware of the Watcher. And like the fight between them was actually pretty cool, because the Watcher's like, oh, I really shouldn't do this, and then he's like, oh, but I'm going to get murdered. I think that in the sense that it's setting up a bigger story that's going to continue over the next couple of weeks, I did find it more interesting than where I thought it was going, which was going to be a straightforward, like, evil computer is smarter than newer evil computer or whatever. But I think just bringing back the Doctor Strange from what is still my favorite episode, that definitely made me interested at the end. And I think that really this one is really a stepping stone for the way that presumably over 2 parts the series is going to wind down. But Michael, you seem to not enjoy the fight between, I don't know what to call this Ultron, Super Infinity Ultron versus Watcher.
I just let's just call him, what was James Spader doing Ultron? Like really?
Counting his
Really?
money.
I mean, first of all, he's on the blacklist, or recently was, and I'm just going to assume he's very expensive, and he probably knows that the movie that he was in is by most accounts either the worst or second worst, depending on who you ask, of all the MCU films. So he's probably like, not excited to go back.
Why
I'm
would
just
he be
super expensive?
Why? I mean, I think he's probably less expensive than you think.
Let's try to hire him.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
My son's bar mitzvah is in a month. Let's hire him and find out.
Let's somebody look him up on see if he's on Cameo.
I doubt it.
Or OnlyFans.
I don't think of him as an A-list actor. I think of him as like almost
he's
like
A-list money though right now. I mean, think of he's been on more than one successful, heavily syndicated show, so he's doing great. I mean, he's not cheap.
Also,
make an offer. See what happens.
Christian. Also, according to IMDb, next week's episode is the season finale.
There's only 9?
Yeah.
Really?
Good.
That's according to IMDb. There's only 9.
Yeah. I was fairly sure this was a 10-episode series.
Lies.
I'll keep looking. Look.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. And our pal Nate, who was on with us a couple of weeks ago, does have something important to interject, that he is the Lizard King. And as far as I can tell, that means he can do anything if he's the Lizard King. When the Watcher, according to Craig Robinson, when the Watcher was talking about his non-interference rules, I was hoping to get a glimpse of other Watchers. Does it not work like that? They haven't set it up. And Nate's saying there were supposed to be 10, but they moved one of them to season 2.
Goody.
So then that's it.
It's
Next
probably
week
a Chadwick Boseman one. They want to keep it going.
I mean,
I didn't get to talk about this. I did not like how they did a Black Panther funeral scene before they're actually going to do a real life Black Panther funeral scene in Black Panther 2. I thought that was kind of whack. Like, I feel like you could have just threw that story out, or just kind of. I just didn't understand what the reasoning was, because it's like you're gonna it's like I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Well, maybe he's not gonna die. Maybe he's just gonna be on some buddy cop trip, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, off in New Jersey or something.
That's the most elegant way to write him off, I think.
This isn't what is it? Fast and the Furious. Paul Walker, if Paul Walker passed away, he does Chadwick Boseman passed away. T'Challa passing away. Can't do it.
No, yeah, I agree with you. We did talk about that episode. It was a little weird that, it's like, obviously you can't help but think about it. When they wrote the episode, when they animated it, none of that was on their mind. and we see, him and that he's actually passed away, and they're having a service. And I do know what you mean.
And you
to have a
need
what
it.
if for
Yeah,
it.
even if he died, you didn't need the funeral actually. So
Yeah.
it's a good point.
Yeah. Let me go back to Craig's point. So we didn't see other Watchers, and now there are, in the comics, it's established that Uatu isn't the only Watcher, but so far in this show, he's the only one we've seen. So maybe we'll see more of them next week. I don't know for sure, but
he's just watching something different. The rest of them,
yeah,
they're watching Netflix, not Hulu.
They're
Disney
still
Plus.
trying to. The other Watchers are still trying to catch up on WandaVision, so they're a little behind. It's but I don't know. I mean, I think it would be cool to see more of the Watchers. What are your thoughts on the Watcher in general, Michael? When you've seen him, in comics, I did like the line that in this, when Ultron pointed out that it is creepy that he just stands around and watches all the time.
Yeah, it was weird, like stalker Chomo vibes. But as for the Watcher, I really was kind of like, okay. I mean, I hate when like a main character narrates the story, kind of like Sex in the City, like like Dexter, like like it just makes me feel like, why are they talking to me like I'm so stupid? But it was nice that he wasn't a character in this, so I actually didn't really like when they pulled him in to it, because I also wanted to think that the Watcher could just be like just clap him away, just get rid of him. And then it kind of made me think, well, what is this guy doing? He's just watching everybody? Like, maybe Ultron's right. He's a creep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is one way to look at it. And I think it is interesting that usually we don't get to see what he's capable of. There are instances in comics where he's used his powers. There are times where he's intervened. But I can't remember a time that we've ever actually seen him fight like that, and also not be able to hold his ground. Yeah, I know that he's got battle armor.
It was like a Power Ranger suit.
Eric, should I assume that you've already ordered your Uatu battle armor?
Well, I always have battle armor at the ready, just off camera. I mean, I agree. Like, I'm holding my lovely compendium here with the ring light. Like, that's the Watcher I think of too, is the guy who's just literally, choosing what TV, what whether go to Netflix, Hulu, or Crackle. And I think this idea
not Tubi.
Not Tubi, no, he's got taste. I like when all of a sudden, like, he was challenged. I mean, it reminded me, to go real old school, Secret Wars, when Doom is like, I'm going to take out the Beyonder. And I always thought, like, that idea of a character who gets so powerful, and then it's like, but there's someone still more powerful than me. I like that idea. The moment of him, however, when they're looking for the file, and suddenly he became like neurotic, like, oh my God, do I tell them? I don't know. What do I do here? Like, you got Jeffrey fucking right. You don't need him to turn into, I don't know, my Uncle Stanley. So I that scene, I was like, not the best use of Watcher. But yeah, the idea of Ultron turning on him, that's pretty cool. And I feel like there's a precedent of that throughout the Marvel universe over the years. The idea of, like, who's more powerful than me? Well, I better take them out, so then I truly am God. And I thought that was a nice twist on things.
Yeah, and that scene where they're looking for the files, he's a little bit more of the nudge than the Watcher. He's like, it's right there. Would you look?
The file, the Zola.
What did you think, Jeff, getting to see some of the Watchers' power, formidable power on display? I mean, this Ultron did something that I'm sure Michael Shirley didn't shed any tears over, and snuff out Carol Danvers.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that what?
No, everyone always gets me confused with Zia. I don't hate Captain Marvel. Like, I just think she's too powerful for this universe, and they're not going to keep her around.
Well,
I'm
sorry if I confused the two prettiest people that are ever on this show, Michael. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jeff. What were you saying?
I mean, the power levels will be joining when you have, like, X-Men joining. You're going to have so many other characters. Like, there's going to be other Captain Marvels. So I think it'll be okay. Plus, I wouldn't be mad if we got rid of Carol Danvers. I'm just saying. I'll just throw that out there as well. Now I got distracted because I don't like Carol Danvers. But
yeah, get on him.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. But also, yeah, you have Jeffrey Wright. I didn't necessarily hate it because it was an animation. Because I was like, okay, it's just a different iteration. We're here to have fun. I'm down for a more quirkier version. If this was live action, then I would feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like if they used Jeffrey Wright and like they had him kind of being a quirkier person in a live action when you're trying to take these stakes like seriously, then yeah. But I was okay with it in this form.
Yeah, I think that that is, you know, they've used the animation medium, I think, fairly well with this show in terms of things that they wouldn't be able to show as easily. I mean, not that they have budget limitations or anything, but you know, in terms of getting characters to do things, you know, we talked about the Angela Bassett fight sequence that as great shape as she's in for her age, you would not have seen that on screen. So I think it's great, you know, live action screen. So I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff is definitely cool. By the way, Ghost 8386 just puts it, the Watcher versus Ultron was badass. So I think that delivering some badassery, I think, is definitely the way to go now and again. Eric, I know as always, you have pressing concerns. I believe you have things that you need to watch throughout the universe. So before you go, I would like to get some of your final thoughts on this episode and hopes for episode 9, which I'm learning now on this show, thanks to our very informed chat.
Real time.
This is our season finale next week.
Well, okay. First of all, I want to mention I saw the movie Dune because I just want to hold over.
Not
Christian,
Marvel.
I saw a movie before him, so
I'm so mad at you. You saw Dune?
I saw Dune.
Why? And did you not invite me? And with who and where?
I was someone's +1, or else you'd be on my. And I asked them, like, could I have Jeff on my lap? And they told me
was
not
it good?
this time. It was. But not to derail things. Which
how
holding
many
one thing over Christian.
How many minutes of screen time does Sting get in this version?
Nowhere near enough.
Okay,
I want oily, shirtless Sting, but he is in Only Murders in the Building, so there is a way to get your Sting fixed. But again, he wears a shirt and he's not oiled up. It's not really Sting in my mind.
It's not for me.
I don't like the director, but I like Timmy and I like Zendaya, so I'm down. And Batista, so I'm down.
And also Jason Momoa, by the way, great in it.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, no, that dude's legit. But you know, in the end of it all, and Lewis, feel free to reach out to me at Count Eric Connor to continue Dune conversation. Anywho, hopes and thoughts and dreams for the future. They set up that last episode pretty well in the idea of even what is a Watcher? Are there other Watchers? Is this literally this one little bubble is at the end of the universe, all contained within one tiny little bubble? So I'm really excited about this last episode. I know What If's been kind of this bumpy ride. There, you know, I know Michael Shirley has loved every single episode of it, but for the rest of us, it's been, you know, kind of a mixed bag. But I think they've set themselves up nicely to really nail the end game on this. So I'm stoked. I mean, as long as it kind of follows what they were doing at the end of that episode, I think it really could pay off well in a way that was really unexpected. Even though they said, oh, it's all going to track, I never thought it would. And yet here we are at the end of the episode, and suddenly it's like, wow, they circled back, and they've definitely set themselves up for a great finale, I think. That is all I have to say.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you're right. And if it's a not great finale, that'll give us a lot more fun stuff to talk about. And Eric, as I mentioned in the chat, when I'm using my phone, I can't share your files.
No worries.
They're staying on the shelf. They're going to be a fine wine. They're going to be so enjoyed by the time.
No, I don't know. Some of them.
No one's ever going to see them.
No, it was references from a month ago. It's like at the Emmys, they had a joke about Mike Pence and the fly. On his head.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. That's what you're doing to me. But
so last year.
Right.
That's good. Well,
It was so July. It's not September humor, but
it was definitely September humor. But I know what you're saying. It's going to be October by the time we do another show.
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was never very good.
All right. Well, Eric, if people want to keep in touch with you and talk Dune, how do they do that?
Eric Connor over at Twitter and Instagram, and if you're in the Burbank area and you want to watch a virtual event tonight with some of the creators over at Gary Marshall Theater, you can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Burbank Arts for Facebook Live. One of my other masks I wear is that of a cultural arts commissioner of Burbank. So I'm a sophisticated. I am. I was voted by a narrow margin.
You were voted?
City council 3-2. And a few of those people who voted for me are no longer on the city council. So I don't know. This might be a one term. I wear my monocle and top hat whenever I
as a commissioner. Do you have access to the bat light?
To what?
The bat signal.
Oh yeah, all the time. Me and
Commissioner Connor.
Oh yeah,
that's the only.
I'm gonna call you the commish.
Commissioner Connor, if you're nasty. Gents,
let's go.
I bid you all
right, commish. Time to go.
And Lewis and everyone in the chat. See you next time.
All right.
Wow.
There it goes. All right. Well, I did not know that he was elected for anything.
I know. Let alone a commissioner.
I don't want the job, but I kind of want to run against him just to see if I could beat him.
Yeah,
but
you're in the district, aren't you?
It would just be sad when I didn't win.
So you probably would beat him.
Nah, I don't think so. He's got something I'm lacking, and it's called charm.
He's pretty big in the Burbank area.
Yeah,
he's big in Burbank.
I know. I practically live in North Hollywood, so it's nobody's impressed by me. Well, Jeff, what do you want to see out of the finale? This story continuing. Picking up with the Doctor Strange from, I believe that was episode 4. Still stands the test as my favorite episode thus far.
Yeah, I just want to see everybody come together. Like, we've seen so many, and when I say everybody, I mean like the main characters, like the Killmongers, the Spider-Mans, like the big players from all the episodes that we know and that we actually enjoyed come together and fight Ultron and have some type of continuity. I know it's What If, and I know a lot of people like it for the one-offs, but I would like to see some continuity in the fact that we're fighting a villain that's breaking dimensions. So let's fight them. Let's fight them together.
Yeah, I think that the idea that it could all come together, and the expectation is maybe that we will see some of the characters from some of the other episodes as well, and see how it all goes together. And then, I'm just curious. Nate pointed out that they moved episode 10 to season 2. So I'm like, well, what's that episode? And Michael, the cynic in Michael, I think
probably wasn't important.
No, it's the idea that it might be another Chadwick Boseman Black Panther centric episode. Maybe they do want to start off their second season that way. But I don't know. I mean, why would you not end your season with this like big story, this sort of like team up? I guess we'll have to see what that.
Well, we don't know where it fell along in the line. It might have been a one-off story.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah,
they could have just not been able to do production on it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we'll have to see. So, Michael, you sound like you're just looking forward to the whole thing being over, right? I mean, you're like relieved that it's one less week.
Yeah, I mean, now that I know that like this is gonna keep on going, like I thought that like it was gonna be like, oh, on to the next one, but I'm still confused as to whether last week's was related to this week because of the way Vision Ultron showed up at the end.
Yeah, well, we might see that Vision Ultron in next week's episode. I think you're right.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the chat your excitement and thoughts on the episodes and what you want to see in the finale. We will touch on something that Daniel Drew did mention, that I did see Venom 2 last night. And was sitting with our AfterBuzz friends Roxy Stryer and Steph Sabra, who both because you weren't allowed to have +1s at this one. This is the first screening I went to where you had to show proof of vaccination and no +1s. But they let me eat popcorn, so it's fine. Because the invite said that you're gonna have to leave your mask on. I'm like, what? And they're like, no, not if you're eating. I'm like, oh, all right.
And
I
you
guess I'll
ate the
go.
whole time.
For about a half hour, and they're very strict about the review embargo. But I did tweet about it that if you like the first Venom, I expect that you will like this one. If you did not like the first Venom, I don't believe that this one's going to win you over. This isn't going to be like, oh, this is so different. It's definitely more of the same. I think it's fun. There's some great performances in there. And as everyone is saying, there is an end credit scene, and it is very significant. It's very cool. What it could mean. So just stick around.
I think I called it.
Anytime I'm at a movie and people are leaving, especially a Marvel or Marvel adjacent movie, I'm like, at this point, like, how did you not learn that you're supposed to, stick around? But Jeff, you're going this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm going on Friday, so I'm upset about it because I couldn't even try to go see it earlier this week. I've just been busy, but yes, I'm going to see it Friday. I'm hoping I don't hear any spoilers. I was not indifferent. I enjoyed the first one for what it was. It was a popcorn film, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy the second one. I hope there's some type of Spidey like nod or something to get me excited, because now I'm hearing that the Sinister Six is Sony's big bad movie. But like, didn't we just get teased with the Sinister Six in Marvel like a couple months ago? So like, I need something new to be excited about. So I'm hoping this movie's going to do it for me.
Wait, so Morbius isn't the thing that you're excited about? That's not...
Oh, Jared Leto's like a third, fourth time attempting to be a superhero or supervillain? No.
Yeah, well,
the anti-hero.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
Well, allegedly Morbius will be out in January. And,
good.
That, I believe, is the 5th release date for that movie. And look, some of that is COVID related, but I think it'll be interesting to see what people think of Venom 2. Michael, did you see the first Venom, or what do you think of the character?
I haven't seen it yet, but I will one day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Daniel Drew, tomorrow afternoon for me. So people are getting out there early. And look, there are other movies to see. The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel, and there's another one. Well, James Bond's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's another movie this weekend as well that I'm not remembering at the moment. But so I don't know. Look, if you love movies, these are things to see. People are getting excited about actually going, and hopefully that enough of our people in our audience are able to see it. And I love what Ivan's just like. I totally forgot about Morbius. Yes, so did the world. Most people have forgotten about Morbius. And I mean, if you remember, there was so much excitement about that Morbius trailer because Michael Keaton.
What Morbius trailer?
This is like 2 years ago now. Michael Keaton was in it as his character, as the Vulture. So people were very excited about what that could possibly mean. Now they're like, I don't even care. I don't care if Michael Keaton, Diane Keaton, or Buster Keaton are in it. I still don't really want to see it. And Daniel Drew pointing out, Shang-Chi is still doing great in theaters. Take that, dear Evan Hansen. Shang-Chi is still doing very well. That'll be on Disney Plus November 12th, we mentioned last week. In terms of some of the movies coming out, Jeff, I'm just wondering, it seems like, and this isn't the first time we've talked about it, that Dune is kind of the big one you're excited about. Would you say, where would you put Venom and Eternals sort of on, like, in your excitement level? You don't have to put them in order.
Yeah.
Just kind of in general level of excitement.
Oh, I was ready to put them in order.
Please do. That's fine.
We have Dune #1 because Spider-Man, I feel like I've done so much research, so much leaking has come out, so much rumors, so much talk. I mean, so we've talked about it too much. The hype has gone down for me. So I'm going Dune, Spider-Man, Eternals.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I mean, it's like James Bond
Halloween
and
Kills.
Venom. Yeah, exactly. James Bond and Venom are like right there for me. And then everything else. I mean, what's the other Timothée Chalamet movie that's coming out on the 24th? That's gonna be good. It's an ensemble movie. It's not West Side Story. What is that? It's like a post office something.
Oh,
It's
I
like
don't know what that one is, but you mentioned that
oh.
West Side Story is also coming out, by the way. So
God, I hate a musical.
Someone in the comments, please help me. There's another Timothée Chalamet movie coming out on the 24th.
If I weren't technologically limited, I would Google it right now. But I'm afraid of breaking everything at this point. So yeah, I think that look, there's Eternals is in there somewhere. But of the movies you're talking about, I think I'm pretty excited for James Bond. It's the most of the Daniel Craig movies have been good, except for Quantum of Solace, which was just garbage. But like the other ones, and at the Venom screening, there were people talking about how they had earlier gone to the James Bond screening, and I'm like, man, to follow the James Bond screening with the Venom 2 screening, I was just like, I don't know, that seems like you're just setting yourself up for a letdown. But I enjoyed the movie. But again, I like the first one. And Michael, if all these movies were available on streaming right now, just hypothetically, which one would you stream right after this show? Which one would you be most likely to watch?
Only stream Venom 2. I'm not interested in any of that other crap y'all were talking about.
Well, including Eternals and Spider-Man?
I haven't even seen Far From Home.
I forgot. Yeah, Far From Home is good. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I already know what happens.
The French Dispatch is. Oh.
Go ahead. What's that?
I was gonna say The French Dispatch is the movie I was missing. That's gonna be good. It's a Wes Allen movie, right?
Wes Anderson. You mean?
Wes Anderson. Am I saying that?
I saw that.
Wes
Paul
Anderson.
Thomas Anderson trailer. So there's a lot going on.
I used to love Wes Anderson.
Yeah, The French Dispatch is coming out on the 24th.
Yeah, and Nick's absolutely right. Far From Home was actually. I figured I'm putting that up, Michael, because I say everything was good for the most part. I figured
Zendaya is Mary Jane, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And she also what is the plan for Zendaya? That she's Mrs. Williams Jr. at some point in the near future, or where are we at with that?
100%. 100%. I just need to go to the premiere so I can meet her so we can put this thing in motion.
Perfect.
So, yeah, COVID just slowed things down.
Yeah, but the plan's still on track. Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, 100%. We still got time.
All right. Well, so that we'll have more time to talk about Venom. I meant to ask Eric if he's planning on seeing it. We'll do a Venom episode, a Venom 2 episode at some point. And I'm as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, still in negotiations, but I think I have a day where we'll be chatting with Chris Claremont again. But none of that will interfere with us being back next Wednesday for what is apparently the season 1 finale of What If. So please join us at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern for the season finale of What If. Until then, Michael, where do people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at I Hate Michael Shirley and on Twitter at Michael X Shirley.
No, I was very slow. And Jeff, where can Zendaya or anyone else who's interested in you? Zendaya, I'm being told it is, but
Zendaya.
Where can she find you if she wants to tweet at you?
Yes, thank you for pronouncing my wife's name right.
My apologies.
She can connect to me anywhere she would like, but you guys can talk to me at Jeff Will Jr. on all your social media platforms.
I let Jeff, just on this conversation, Jeff's gonna go on Twitter and he's gonna just tweet his phone number out, and like he'll deal with everybody else. It's like maybe she'll see it, So
Yeah.
it's completely worth it.
I
Well,
thought she was dating Spider-Man.
Huh?
I
thought she was dating Spider-Man.
That's play. That's for publicity.
They're just friends.
This is marketing for the movie.
Oh, like Twilight style. I gotcha.
Yeah. Trust me, I work in marketing. It's fine.
And Jeff's gonna be involved with her so that he can help promote this show. So we appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff.
True. No worries.
Well, thank you to everybody who was in the chat, and of course to Eric Connor, who has, of course, already departed for greener pastures, which makes it sound like he passed away.
He died.
Yeah, but we'll all be back next week. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram @ChristianDMZ. Subscribe to Black House YouTube channel, BLADTCAST. And as the great Stan Lee would say, Excelsior!